Nice peace and quiet, huh?
Alright, okay, so everything's streaming right now, right?
Yes.
Alright, cool. Hello everyone, and welcome to another amazing game in the OXC. Today, it is week 6, and we have DSC versus, wrong game, that game got forfeited. This is D9 versus Paranoia. Um, and first map we have today is going to be on Eichenwald. And I already have the ready up from both teams, and we're gonna go just right into it. So, do you guys know anything about the two teams that are playing today? The records,
Not at
how they're
all.
doing, or people to watch out for? That's a no, apparently. So running into a lot of unknowns here, huh?
I've never heard of these teams. I usually pay
Never.
attention to the my tier and above.
Okay, so looking at the standings here, D9 is currently 5-0 with 12 map wins, and we got Paranoia at 0-4. So Paranoia looking for their first win of the season here. I think this will probably be, if going against a team that's 5-0. I've seen D9 play before, and they are quite a quite a strong team. Now, with our first point being here on Eichenwald, what do you guys think we're gonna see here? In terms of
Maybe for attack, I think that I would see from one of the teams a Far Mercy or Goat Comp. I've seen that quite a lot for Eichenwald.
like for first point specifically.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, Fair Mercy has been one of those things that's really, even in the times where it wasn't like crazy meta, first point Eichenwald has seen quite a lot of it. But in my watching of games this week, I've also seen a lot of first point goats. Just like storing point, and I've actually seen first point almost not held for any amount of time. We have some nice crouching and standing in a circle, team huddle on the side of the defense here.
I need to
Now
take
coming
that
right
block.
in, yeah, coming right in here. So we do have a pharmacy attacking with an Ana, Ryan, Diva, and Hanzo, and immediately taking out the Zarya on the side of Rambo there, and it looks like they're slowly working their way in now. They have the numbers advantage. They're pushing their way right in. Oh, taking out Reinhardt immediately, and Reaper narrowly avoiding the pin but dying anyways. Mercy being bionated, and Hanzo just finishing up the kills. But Crude Milkman does demact little snipes there, but it's a pretty clean first attack. I don't think anybody died on the side of the offense. Really sticking with the tradition of no second holds on this first one Eichenwald this week. Little Snipes does fall after being demacked, maybe just a little tactical getting your mech back from spawn. We'll have to see if the soldier on the side of Paranoia here can challenge Susan's back Farah. He's just laying down the damage constantly. Defense, though, did not elect to hold the defense close to the door like some teams do, but right now the offense kind of has the high ground everywhere. They're just raining damage from above. Side of Diva and Hanzo doing a flanking dragon right here. Not really getting anyone, but definitely disrupting them. But Crude Milkman actually getting a Helix rocket on Bigger Mac on his Hanzo there. We got the nano boost coming out on OC Hammer, trying to force his way forward, and he gets slept and immediately pinned opposing Reinhardt. But we have a counter pin back across the entire map, and actually the defense is getting some kills here and holding it. A massive bomb gets 2 on the side of the defense. It just what did look like a great fight and almost a 1-1 for Paranoia is quickly turned around to say the side of D9 here. Now I'm not fully sure if Jesser should have invested that down barrier there, but we have a fair barrage, and it's just honestly just kind of staggers right now from the side of defense. Reaper going in trying to get a sneaky pick on one of the supports, but then they decides it's not a great idea. But defense does pick up 2 kills on Diva and Hanzo, so they've actually managed to stabilize a bit here. What do you guys think about how the offense and defense are handling this here so far?
Um, I think what's happening uh for defense is that they're not focusing about how the Pharah can just go up behind them and along with the entire other side of the map. Since Wall and when they're pushing the payload is actually a very big map, so anybody can just go from the side, the line, or even from above. So seeing it as to
Absolute massive shatter. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, it's fine. Seeing as to how it was seen before, mostly with Big Mac using his ult again, but only making the defense just push away. Before, when he had used his ult, he had gone behind, and that's something that the defense has not worked too much on, paying attention to the sidelines.
Definitely, I do agree with that. And then right there, we actually saw a really strong hold there from the side of the defense. There was a nano boosted Reinhardt that got booped off the map and killed, and actually required almost no ult investment from the side of defense, whereas the attack used quite a bit. And now we have the pharmacy actually switching off, feeling the pressure from that defensive soldier, and switching to a Genji, hoping to get a little bit more up in their faces. And D9 here is taking the high ground on this little archway here, and it's just looking down menacingly and poking and prodding, hoping to find an opening. But Lucio playing with fire right up in front of that Reaper. Oh, and try to do some Reaper on Reaper action there, but Reinhardt gets the better of him. And the Sound Barrier is invested in the side of defense, and actually a massive shatter that is then returned by another shatter. But the kills are really trading back and forth here, and Reaper walking up in D.Va's face, and even investing in Graviton. They're throwing a lot of ult at this, and they're actually getting away with it. Because they had that ult advantage they could use in the previous fight. And now D9 here just needs to back out. Hans is at like 1 HP. You can't really afford to lose anymore right now, but they do get some clutch picks here on Soldier. And now they're making the defense scatter and run. Soldier here sending valiantly against the entire team. None shall pass. But his D.Va does come to help him out, and we got a nano boost with Mercy. Got a nano boost that healing. And now, yeah, we got a flanking soldier aimbot, but it's just D.Va and Genji chasing him down. There's no real follow-up and protection for that soldier. And now this is honestly a little bit of a brawl, kind of everywhere, but the offense on the side of D9 really has kind of a foothold on this cart right now. The defense is kind of pushing in one by one, staggering, and OC Hammer getting 3 quick kills, pinning the Reinhardt and getting the mini D.Va. And yeah, now the offense is kind of just strongly pushing their way through here as they have a Tracer swap on the side of the defense. Maybe just get back to cart really quickly here. But now D9 will take second point. After getting stumbled a bit for a little bit, much longer than they spent the first point, they do work their way through. We got a shatter bomb. It could be huge. It's 4. But with the DMAC, that was a nice combination, making the Reinhardt turn there and then immediately shattering. And we got all little mini D.Va stagger, and we got more switches on the side of defense here. Now we have a Bridget as just a switch off of Lucio. Maybe the Genji just being too much of a bother in the backline there. Defense just looks kind of a little scattered, like they're all fighting their own little 1v1s. Well, now D9 invests the blade here, but immediately taken down. Valkyrie popped on the side of Paranoia, and this is kind of exchanging kills, but got a Dragon, Bomb, and Reaper ult. Kills really trading back and forth, but with most of these extended fights, when you trade these kills, the defense does slowly get the advantage back. And D.Va slept by Ana as and it really needs to back up now. D.Va was covering her, but ran out of defense matrix as Ana kind of pushed up a bit further. And yeah, Paranoia will hold for now. Now we have a swap on the side of D9 here. They're going to go off the Mercy and switch to the Moira, more in these enclosed spaces. the orbs can work a little bit better. We also have a Junkrat swap as well. They really want to get up close and personal. Just laying down that burst damage. Double pulse bomb. Investing the bomb and Reinhardt gets slept. The bomb gets 2. Milkman is popping off, getting 3, 4 kills, and he might single-handedly save Paranoia here on this 3rd point. Will anybody even be able to touch? I don't think so. The D.Va tries to get there and cannot. And what looked like could have been a really bad situation for Paranoia, they actually end up stabilizing off the back of Milkman's Tracer. So, what did you guys notice here on this defense? Would you have changed anything on the side of the attack? Because it looked like they were doing really good for quite a while there, but got kind of stumbled up on this 3rd point.
I think for attack, what D9 should have probably done was I don't think they should have switched anything. I think it's more so about how their alt usage were being done. The Genji had bladed, and then the Nano had gone to the Reinhardt instead of the Genji. That was kind of a weird thing. And after like that moment happened, the Genji died. Reinhardt didn't really push up all too much. And then they did it just about a few inches. Hanzo threw out his ult. I think that's a little bit too much alt usage for just one fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it did look like both sides kind of had pretty good combinations. Specifically, D9 had really good combinations with their D.Va bombs, whether it be making the Reinhardt turn around and then sleeping him, or making the Reinhardt turn around for a D.Va bomb and then shattering to make it so that their bombs were actually surprisingly effective. It's not often you see bombs get that much use and have that much results.
Yeah, I think that the bombs sorry for cutting you off there. I think the bombs were very useful because for D9, they had the Ana and the Reinhardt. The Reinhardt could have shattered, or the Ana could have just said no to the enemy Reinhardt and just slept them, which was so useful, causing that 4K or even more.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we have the roles swapped here. Now we have a pharmacy on the side of the defense, but the attacking side is kind of running a hybrid dive cup. It's actually running 2 main tanks, a Winston and a Reinhardt, and no D.Va at all, with the Tracer, Bridget, and Sombra. They don't really have anything that can kind of contest this pharmacy right now. And Sombra getting picked off, a dink to the head. And I really think the offense should probably go back and swap things up a bit. So I'm not quite sure what the thing to run here, because we got the Orisa Hall for the Halt Hook combos, the Hanzo, the Mercy, and the Pharah, the Zen. Looks like the, okay, so we now have Milkman swapping over to his signature soldier here, off of Tracer, and help put a little more pressure on that pharmacy so it's not so uncontested. But Reinhardt being melted, just immediately taken down. I do wonder if they'd be doing a bit better if they had an off tank with them, maybe a D.Va or even a Zarya to help pair it with one of their main tanks, whichever route they want to go. Okay, but they do dive in and take out the Zen pretty quick on. But the Pharah just laying down the barrage, but also taken out. Oh, but the Mercy picked off by Bigger Mac on the side of the attack here. And defense is getting the kills they need to hold this. But initially looked like it was a pretty good push, picking the Zen. It kind of turned around as they laid themselves into this more kind of anti-divey type comp. It looks like now the attacking side has switched over to a pharmacy of their own, electing to take them off their own game. But the Mercy hit in the head again by Bigger Mac. Exfoliate just cannot get a break right now. And now Milkman has switched over to Tracer as well, trying to do a little bit of Tracer Pharah action, but Suez is back, winning the Pharah battle and taking down Jester himself when he did not have his Mercy. And it looks like the attack just kind of a little bit phased. Like they're not really sure what they want to run against this composition. They're not really sure what the problem is right now, because they're making even more swaps. Now Jester goes off of the Bridget and over to the Lucio, and using using the dragon. Well, it was damage boosted, but Reinhardt goes in using the shatter, taking down Zen. Tracer also taking on little snipes on the hog, and just back, getting rid of those bongos, taking rid of that burst damage. But Mercy gets the res on the hog, but Milkman still popping off the anti-air Tracer. But both supports down on the side of the attack here, and defense will stabilize as both tanks and Hanzo and Mercy still alive. But Milkman again being the carry, taking down Mercy and Orisa with a pulse bomb, leaving a potential opportunity for the offense here to come in and take this first point. But the defense investing all of their ults, spending the barrage. Didn't really, well, it did get the Mercy, so that is actually pretty good. The EMP was a little bit late after the trance had already been used, so the defense was able to stay up with really no issue. I'm not quite sure Zinger really wanted to invest that EMP there. And after a long push here, we have 30 seconds remaining. The offense really only has coming up on a Valkyrie, while the defense is sitting on a dragon of their own. We got Tracer kind of flanking around here in the back. Maybe Milkman could be the carry they need again, getting off some more kills. Lucio taking quite a lot of damage, throwing out the dragon, hitting Lucio. That's huge. It's both Ryans trying to pin each other. Lucio actually gets rezzed up by Mercy now, popping the Valkyrie, and but Farrah taking down Ryan, Tracer taking down Hanzo, and just kills are trading back and forth. But right now, the defense is winning this kills battle as they're up by 2 or 3 right now. But Tracer taking out Zen, but losing the Mercy. And Reinhardt just getting these cleanup kills they really need now. And it's just Tracer left on point as she tries to solo cap this point while Mercy pops her Valk. And will anybody else be able to touch? It does not look like it, as both the people who are about to touch the cart on the side of Paranoia get shattered. And that will be a first point hole here for D9. Looks like that we got this. I want to see this bomb play. Oh yeah, this is where they get shattered.
Nerf this.
Sorry, they get slept and shattered. Actually, I didn't realize the sleep happened before. For a massive 4K. And D9 will go up here 1-0 in this series. That was a really solid first point hold here from D9. What do you, if you were Paranoia there, what would you have changed with how you're attacking, or what do you think their problem was in their attempt to attack?
Honestly, when I was watching the entire match, as I was watching it, I kind of noticed that while yes, Crude Milkman was doing an amazing job being on the back line and causing a lot of damage, along with getting like 2 to 3 kills at most. 4. It seemed that the tank Reinhardt had been seemingly in a way out of position to where he would get damaged a lot and be taken out most of the time. If I was able to look at his stats, I predict that he had at least like 12 deaths at minimum, because most of the time when the fights would begin or when you would think that a push was about to start, someone would just do a lot of damage and that Ryan would just be down for the count and out of the fight. And the fight would just be canceled. If you don't have your main tank, you're of course going to need to wait it out.
Yeah, definitely. The main tank is one of the critical pillars of pushing. They kind of drive that engage forward and push the entire team there. It also felt like, do you think the offense should have switched to kind of an off tank? Because it seemed like, I believe the entire time they had 2 main tanks. They had a Winston and a Reinhardt.
Yeah, actually, most definitely they should have switched off both the main tanks should have been there. I think if the Reinhardt wasn't working, because when Rambo pushed in, they were at least able to do a little bit of things. Whom was playing the Winston, but when that was the case, the Reinhardt would either be unable to push in because that's a diving character versus a brawly character. Rambo would just be able to use a brawly character. Rambo would just be able to just push in with maybe like 2 people, and Ryan would just be left with at least like one person I think they should have ran at least if they were gonna commit to dive with a diva instead of the Reinhardt Winston.
Yeah, because the Pharaoh's just laying down so much damage from above, and when that damage is all absorbed by your people, you're just taking this damage over and over and over again. You don't really have a diva to kind of like defensor's matrix some of that.
Yeah,
It's
that was actually a big thing to notice when the Reinhardt was on point. I think on the last two fights, he couldn't really do much because if he put up a shield, he would just be standing there like a sitting duck waiting to be hit. And when he would put down his shield, he would just be taking damage from the front. But when he had his shield up, Pharaoh was behind, so either way, he was going to take damage from the front from not having his shield up, or take damage from the back having his shield up.
yeah, definitely. If you had to give some advice to Paranoia coming to this next map here, what would you really say to them? What do you think they swap up here?
I think if they're gonna keep at it, if they're gonna try and commit to something, don't commit to two tanks. Rather commit to an actual team composition that can actually work. If you're gonna have a Winston, trust dive. If you're gonna have a Reinhardt, trust a brawly type of composition, like a Reinhardt Zarya with, like, I guess you can say McCree, Genji, or Tracer. If you're a really good Tracer, as we saw by Crude, then go ahead and keep the Tracer, because while Tracer does do less damage than most the DPS, because of course she has a lot of spread, then beyond that, it's on you.
Definitely. We're just looking to get the ready up from both teams here. All right, looks like we do have it ready for both teams. So our next map here is Oasis, everybody's favorite control map. What do you think they're gonna have here in Oasis? I know like pharmacy is pretty actually popular on nearly every point of this map. Do you think you're gonna see some pharmacy here?
Most definitely, as we saw from D9, they had ran that beautiful Far Mercy.
Yeah, I am fully expecting another pharmacy here. However, we do have the university here at first. So out of all of the ones that could have fair, this one is actually one of the less common ones, but it looks like D9 here might be setting up for another pharmacy of their own. There's also a point that it's actually really popular for strong tank play. We actually might see some like kind of goats back and forth too.
Yeah, this map is very known for goats, along with it's always hard to remember which one. I think Central.
Sorry, say that again?
I think this section of this map is very strong for running goats, and I think also Central.
Yeah. It looks like we do have goats here on the side of Paranoia. And kind of, not really goats, but kind of like off goats things on the side of D9, looking to run the Junkrat instead of a third support. But Paranoia taking the point, getting right onto the point early, and getting a hook fire strike immediately onto C4 General and that Lucio. But oh, Paranoia getting in this enclosed space with the Junkrat, and that is a place you never want to be. In one of those enclosed spaces, and getting a few quick kills, and actually taking control of the point there, like establishing their presence, as Roadhog kind of left alone getting hooked. And they are looking to go back in, but Reinhardt pins the Bridget, and now Paranoia just needs to back up and regroup. Oh, but Lucio's still getting staggered. Reinhardt got a shatter already, electing to use it now, and taking down two with that demeching Diva. And they're just, they're probably kind of pushing up to the spawn here. But Paranoia really needs to back up and regroup here. There's just some quick ults on the side of D9. Even after using the shatter, they're still sitting on 3 more, as well as coming up here on another, coming up here on a tire. But now Paranoia is pushing up here on the right side, kind of poking, feeling their way. But this run out the Diva Bomb, and this could be actually pretty big, but actually surprisingly gets nobody. this Paranoia is split now. Half on the left side and half on the right side. This fight is really a brawl, and with the composition right now that D9's running, you do not want to be in a brawl with a Junkrat. You will just take too much damage. But even after losing those people, they're missing the sound barrier. But Reinhardt flies off the edge, and yeah, the Paranoia might actually be pushing up here a little bit. But it is a bit odd. The Lucio is the one who's the frontliner of Paranoia right now.
Nerf this.
And throwing the Diva Bomb into that small corner right there. And throwing the Shatter, but the bomb gets 2. And Reaper picks up another while Tire picks up 2 on the side of D9 there. Now, actually, during that period of time, even though this fight's still going on, Paranoia has taken control of the point, so now they're building up that percentage. And D9 really just needs to regroup here. They've lost the point. They do not have numbers anymore. But looks like D9 keeping the same composition, but Paranoia has actually switched Milk over to his signature tracer. If he keep doing what he was doing before, that could actually do quite a lot of work. Though with how many tanks D9 is running, it actually might not be as effective as he's wanting to. And now we're gonna throw in that Bridget ult while Hog flanks and actually misses the hook, which could have actually been pretty big. Now they're gonna go into that small enclosed space there and try to bait them into it while they're throwing those Junkrat bombs. We're gonna invest the Moira ultimate, just making sure everyone's healed up and actually using it for some damage right now. Both sides still kind of fighting out. No kills have happened so far, even though this fight's been going on for a little while now. And Shatter comes out, taking down a few, and actually takes out 2, immediately taking out 2 of their supports. Investing the Roadhog ultimate to get Reinhardt, but Reaper ults taking out 2 on the side of D9, and it is looking like D9 will take control of the point here. And while Tracer kind of sneaking around, trying to maybe get a quick kill here. But now Paranoia is actually kind of split up a little bit, kind of slowly working their way over to the left side. As Reaper works his way back from spawn. And this is kind of coming up on last fight here for Paranoia. D9 coming up on that 91% control as they throw out the Diva Bomb and the Moira ultimate. But the bomb gets Tracer, and this Tire could be huge. Absolutely takes out Moira, and now Paranoia already down 2. Invest the sound barrier, but gets down 2 with the Shatter as Roadhog's taken out, and Diva taken very low. And now demeched. But the Moira now invests her ultimate on the size of D9 to hopefully clean up the rest of these kills as 3 quick people fall on the side of Paranoia. Junkrat comes in and gets his opposing Junkrat, but Diva remexes herself, and this fight is probably all but lost now as Junkrat tries to do the final contests. And that will be first point here for D9. That wasn't actually, while it seemed like it went pretty fast, I think for a little bit there, Paranoia was actually holding kind of well. Do you think so?
Yeah, with Paranoia having had switched off the goats, they actually did amazing on goats, and when they just switched off to counter goats, they just held at it. Usually you'd see people break off and be unable to fight goats. Mostly with Susie's back being on a Junkrat, they were able to just hold their own.
Yeah, they're just laying down tons of damage. And now it looks like we do have a Pharmacy again on the side of D9 here. Actually running the McCree this time. It was a little bit different for them. And now on the side of Paranoia, we are rocking the Tracer again. Tracer Moira, Ryan Diva. So kind of not exactly mirror compositions, but they're kind of similar. Now the Discords running the Zen can actually do work for them as they can focus down their targets a bit more. But Paranoia gets a quick pick on Reformed Truth with some McCree action here, but they actually get the res off. So now it's back to an even fight again, and that could not punishing that res could actually be pretty bad for them as D9 takes this high ground here. And that Reformed Truth returns the previous favor and takes them off, but there is no mercy on the side of Paranoia, so there will be no res. As Soul Knight Rider takes out Exfoliate and Jester is back, and now with both supports being down the side of Paranoia, this fight is pretty much all but lost.
Check me out. Securing the
However, during that entire time, Paranoia did have control of the point, so they actually got up to 24%. So they are technically in the lead right now for this point. Now they're kind of slowly working their way in here, as Fair just rains down from above from a distance. Oh, Tracer uses pulse bomb, but does not get it. Now Paranoia slowly working their way on the point. Fair just kind of walking around. Up top there, not even flying. But Fair's actually coming up on a barrage, so she might be looking for something sneaky here. Reinhardt falls on the side of Paranoia, but it's actually his res this time now. Ooh, barrage goes in, actually gets rid of Mercy. Trades her own life for it, but anytime you can take out a major support like that, it's 100% worth it. But Trance actually invested, and then, man, there's actually a lot of kills running back and forth here, as Paranoia actually starting to look like they're getting the better of it. A big bomb comes out from Soul Knight Rider, getting 2, but Rambo picks up 2 of his own, and they actually do take control of the point now, even after losing the Mercy. Exploit actually has now switched to the Mercy, which actually I think is probably big from it. Now they have those reses that that D9 had the entire time before, and now they're kind of spreading out a bit. They have the damage boost in McCree to help kind of challenge that Fammer a bit more, and Suzu's back. He respects it. He realizes it's actually causing a problem. And switches over to Genji, trying to dive their backline a little bit more now. And looks like they're now pushing. Actually, it looks like they're pushing 2 different directions. But Zen is caught out of position and taken down as D9 comes from 2 different spots, but doesn't really fully enforce it each side. And Tracer picks up 2 with the pulse bomb, trading her own life. But that, taking on both Mercy and McCree, is 100% worth it. And using that Mercy to its full advantage, picking up the res on Tracer again. And Paranoia actually, with these changes, is holding really, really well. Both sides sitting on 3 ultimates, and yeah, actually, they're actually nearly mirror ultimates, so Paranoia has a really good chance of holding this right now if they play this right. But D9 pushing in on the left side there, right down into the point. As Ryan gets off a Shatter into a McCree ultimate. Only gets Diva in the Shatter, and McCree demechs her. That's a nice early start as both Valkyrie and Soundbearer invest in the side of Paranoia here. But McCree shuts down the Genji Blade. And Mercy gets the res on Reinhardt. So what looked like to be a disadvantage for Paranoia is slowly coming back in their favor as both sides trade kills. But the Trance invested on the side of D9 gets Lucio, but these kills are back and forth as Rambo picks up Mercy and Zinger gets the Zen on the side of D9. And I think actually Paranoia might take this point, but Mercy falling by Swiz's back. The Genji could be big. Oh, but the mini Diva is taken out. That was what really started there as a bad fight for Paranoia. They kind of really turned around. Rambo is he's popping off on this McCree. What do you think there, Evermore? You think they can pull it out here for this 3rd point?
Honestly, I'd have to see. Rambo and Crude are just going at it, seeing how Rambo is actually doing amazing on McCree. He's now actually switching as I say that.
They're swapping sides this time. Now they're the ones who are in the pharmacy.
Yeah, that's actually surprising. They hadn't run that before, but Reformed is on McCree, so he might get countered and go back.
He's on Tracer now.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, now they switch the pharmacy of their own. They debated us. We have actually nearly mirror comps running right. Actually, we do have mirror comps running right now.
It's gonna be interesting.
Oh, but Milkman winning the Tracer battle immediately. And Zeus is back actually really low right now on this Pharaoh, but Mercy was able to pick up the res on Tracer, but trades her own life for it. That's actually is devastating, losing your Mercy there in any kind of farm situation. And Milkman again wins the Tracer battle against Reformed Truth, and yeah, Reformed is popping off on this Tracer. Zeus back wins the Pharaoh War. And Reformed Truth already feels the pressure for it. Switches over to the Bridget, knowing he cannot win that Tracer battle. But kills this fight's still ongoing though. Kills traded back and forth, and now the Mercy on the side of Paranoia actually falls. And I think actually D9, by the fact of them having their tanks on point, actually might be winning this right now. And C4 General winning the Lucio 1v1. But Milkman again getting the Mercy, but taken down by the Bridget. We'll have to see if Milkman can still effectively play Tracer when surrounded by this Bridget now. Excuse me. And yeah, that was actually an interesting fight. It was really back and forth the entire time. Kind of fooled me there. Paranoia slowly working their way in. Both Pharas getting really close to their ultimates here, so we might see some big barrages as Mercy tries to battle Mercy it out on the side of Paranoia, but D.Va getting critically low, getting D-Mech. That's actually big. There's nothing to stop that barrage from happening now as Pharah takes out Lucio with a damage boost rocket. And this fight's kind of breaking out over two different locations here, on the right and left side of the point. And after 2 or 3 people taken down, OC Hammer will bring the hammer down and invest his hammer into taking down 2 or 3 people right there. Though unsure if it was needed due to them pretty handedly being in control of that point. Milkman actually will now switch over off of Tracer to the Pharah. The Pharah is causing enough problems that they want to stop it from happening. But with the Pharmacy having this high ground, it can be very hard to dislodge them. Both sides coming up on quite a lot of ultimates here. So these next few fights could be big as Pharah invests a barrage on the side of Paranoia and lives through it till the tail, even though it did not pick up any kills. Soldier picks off Bridget as they invest the Salvator on both sides. And the Reinhardt now behind the entire team. And actually now Paranoia is in control of the high ground. As Pharah barrages, lives, and takes out 2. Swinging the tide of this fight as Paranoia throws their D.Va bomb and does not get anything with it. But Mercy does get the Reinhardt res. And this is just a brawl back and forth with the Pharah on the side of Paranoia taking out 2 more people. But will it be enough as Mercy gets the res on their Pharah again? And this is just a 0 to 99 so far right now on the side of D9. With Paranoia just struggling to come back into it. This fight lasting so long as they spend their tactical visor, getting actually the D-Mech and the Pharah. The Reinhardt putting up his shield, not allowing to come in. But as Reinhardt holds up the shield blocked with a tactical visor, Pharah just rains down the rockets from behind him. And looks like Paranoia is actually going to take control of this point for the first time. It's such a long fight though, and D9 made them invest so many ultimates to take control of that there. That's yeah, now D9 just needs to win 1 fight. They took it to 99, and with no real ultimates to defend this point, you have to wonder, can Paranoia hold? Now each side kind of poking and prodding. I do find it interesting that the Reinhardt on the side of Paranoia here, he's not often their frontliner. He's often on the side, kind of on his own, as he's taken out and pinned, as he's flanked somehow by a Reinhardt, Lucio, and Bridget. And they just quickly assassinate 3 people with that combination. And D.Va launched in the air as the bomb does not get anything. But Pharah is now res after being taken down and investing the barrage. Lives again as they just continue to take out people on the side of Paranoia here. And I think this will be the map. We're gonna figure out Lucio play. We're gonna figure out Lucio play the game here as he boops Reinhardt off the point, and then see if he take out the Mercy. He does take out the Mercy as he tries to get away, but cannot. And so here in the OXC, that we play best 2 out of 3 here. However, so that does make it the win go to D9, keeping them undefeated. However, map points do matter, so we will be playing the third map, no matter what here. Yes, feel free to talk over me anytime you want to, guys. I'm doing a lot of the play-by-play, but I'm more than happy to step aside
I'm
if need
so
be.
sorry. I didn't want to be awkward, so I just kept
Oh,
myself
no, that's
muted
okay.
to listen to you.
Not at all. Oftentimes I'm doing kind of the play-by-play, and especially if I take breaks sometimes, feel free to interject with some knowledge or some kind of something you've observed, maybe. Alright, so it looks like our next map here will be Horizon Lunar Colony. What do you guys think we're gonna see here on the side of, like, composition-wise?
I'll let DSC. Say something first.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm in gold,
What do you
so
guys think?
I don't know what to expect.
Everything is viable. Everything is viable. What do you typically run when you're playing on Horizon?
Well, I personally am just a support main. I play a lot of Mercy,
Okay.
but a lot of our team
with
comps
Mercy.
seem to lean towards either like Rein Zarya or maybe Winston Diva.
Mm-hmm. With Mercy coming out of the meta, do you think we're gonna see like less Mercy on this point, especially with potential like goatee comps?
I guess it depends on how stubborn both teams' support mains are.
I know we've been seeing a lot of Ana sometimes in these league games recently.
I feel like people in the lower tiers have picked up Ana recently, mostly just to kind of counter the goats meta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see, yeah, definitely, because Ana is actually a pretty decent counter to goats if you can play around the anti-nade well, just due to the fact that
I know my team had
characters.
me learn Ana to go against goats.
Yeah. It works super well because if you think about it, you throw one Bionade, it hits a bunch of people, you just counter the abilities of 3 of the characters on the enemy team. 3 of them are healers, and if they can't heal, then that's pretty big. This looks like we're making some swaps now. We're putting Mac in for Suez on the side of D9 and Mark in for Exfoliate. There's oops, almost accidentally removed somebody from the game. We won't talk about that.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yes, we choose who goes and who stays in this lobby.
Yeah, I think as you were saying about the Ana play, it is actually extremely powerful as shown. With her buff, actually just makes her way more amazing.
Absolutely, just like before, her ultimate just was kind of overshadowed by all the ultimates of the other ones. But now the fact that you can actually kind of save somebody and almost bring them back from the dead, it's like it's to a degree what both sides. What some of the people wanted before for Ana, or actually no, sorry, wanted before for Mercy, where people wanted to change her res to make it so you could like preemptively save someone, like if they died, then they would come back. But they kind of almost did that for Ana's ult, where save someone right from the brink of death and almost bring them back to full health with that damage resistance. And it looks like we do have the go-ahead here from both teams. Now we have swap sides here, so now D9 is in the blue and Paranoia is in the red. That way we swap who attacks and who defends first here. Making sure things are as fair as possible. And here we go as we get to this point. So I think, so if I had to guess what was going to be around here, I would definitely expect to see some goats. Just due to this point is very snowbally.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've seen that happen a lot where someone just runs goats, and even though you kill like the entire team, you can just still snowball after capturing the point because they're not prepared just for 6 people running in head on twice in a row.
Hmm. This first point though used to be like really, sometimes pretty difficult to hold, and was even more so than it was before. But with these changes they made to this first point, and actually adding this extra cover and kind of redirecting the flow of traffic a bit, it's actually a lot more defendable than it used to be. We've also, so far like the other games I was a part of and casted this week on this map, it seems like this has been one of the funky maps. This is one of the maps where we've seen a lot of more of the, not necessarily trolley picks, but we've seen some Torbjorn, we've seen some Bastion. We've seen complete crushes of first point. We've seen complete holds of first point. So I am really, really curious to see how both teams play this. It looks like right now D9 defense is rocking the Hanzo Junkrat Arisa Diva Mercy Zen composition, but it's kind of a little bit back to that anti-dive comp that we've seen in the past, and actually was meta for quite some time. And the offense here is kind of running a little bit of a dive without the Winston. It's almost like they're expecting kind of a Junkrat and want that shield to block it. And right now, Paranoia here on the attack, D9 on the defense. And looks like they're slowly working their way around here on the right side, trying to avoid as much of that burst Junkrat damage as possible. But they are going to be going towards the right side here. Junkrat puts up a shield to keep his team alive. And D9 here kind of rotating a bit. But now slowly pushing forward, and Reforger takes out Jester on the Zen, as those mines are just so hard to avoid, and just Junkrat raining down from above on top of the enemy team, and you do not want to be in a close space like that with Junkrat there. But surprisingly, only Zen fell, and he actually got res back up. Now the two flankers of Paranoia kind of coming back around here, as the rest of Paranoia works their way outside, which is not really a common strategy. And C4 General gets 2 as they cop right out of the anti-grav zone. But is the crazy Redcan pins the Mercy here on the side of defense, so potentially leaving up an opportunity for the Paranoia to push. But the losses caused by both Zen and Junkrat is really too much here to handle. Because I think Mini Diva here is just... Oh, never mind. I thought there was somebody sitting down below point, but it's just a little bit of Genji on Genji 1v1 action. Or Genji on Hanzo action. Shimada brothers. Why can't brothers just get along?
That is
Now the tire. And now the tire invested on the side of defense here as it goes deep. And actually picks off Jester again. Now I kind of feel bad for Jester at this point. He's been one of the first and sometimes the only person picked off at the beginning of a lot of these fights here. And it does definitely look like they're targeting him. But the offense here not really making any changes. They're still really committed to this dive, as Milkman does take out the Junkrat, which actually could be very big, because the Junkrat's been causing them so many problems. Milkman kind of, he's just being a pest now, as Mercy actually goes for a ballsy res and gets punished for it. And the bomb actually taking out Jester again. The defense just using their built-up ultimate and expending it, and actually getting these picks now. C4 General actually popping off in the Zen on this defense. He's been getting kill after kill. Even picking up the Mercy, but kills still coming in here on the side of Paranoia. And actually, I think they might take this point, as it just leaves a reset left on the left on this point. But Diva's kind of looking like she can take a death. I don't think they will. Milk kind of drives them off. And looking here, we do have a Reinhardt Shatter, a Valkyrie, a Tracer Bomb, and a Bomb, as well as a Trance coming up here. So this could potentially lead to a snowball situation if they push right in. But they have to go right in, not waste too much time. As a reset, kind of taking some damage right now, and they hold the high ground. Looks like they're kind of hesitant right now. They want to push in. Pulse Bomb does not pick up anybody on the side of Milk. Rambo takes out Bigger Mac, and Bongo is invested here on the side of D9. And actually, the kills are going the way of Paranoia. Getting all C4 General, the typical fragger of the team. Bomb comes in, takes out Hanzo and DMX Diva. And they actually get the res off on Reinhardt. And they already picked up the first tick. And they're actually getting these kills, stabilizing as they invest their trance. And the defense invests the trance to keep their Orisa up. And Reinhardt walks behind the shield to shatter Orisa. And Rambo invests the blade here. Gets one, demecking Diva, and Reinhardt throws in the Fire Strike to finish off the Zen. And I think they're going to take this point after they take out Tracer. With actually a really respectable time at 3 minutes and 40 seconds left.
You definitely called it there on that snowball, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. With these two CP maps, you always got to do a kind of snowball check going into second point. Especially if you get some late stagger kills, checking those ultimates, wondering like, could we snowball this? Could we not? Because sometimes in defense, you just might. Sometimes you need to switch.
When you invited me to Temple Run, I was expecting an easy jog, not sprinting from a demon monkey. You know what is easy? Going to Geico.com to see how much you could save.
Your entire comp just to make sure that the team can't snowball into you. So, what do you guys think about Paranoia's attack there? I don't know about yourselves, but I was really kind of concerned there on their first point attack for a while, as they got around to like a minute left, and they still hadn't captured the point.
Yeah, the defense did manage to hold it for quite a while.
Yeah, but they were able to just kind of push. Yeah, they were able to push in then on their attack, and they got some quick kills, disrupting the defense. And these reses, I've actually been surprised of how much these reses are not being punished, kind of on both sides. Milkman's kind of been doing it a little bit on Tracer, but I'm always surprised at how many reses are actually able to get off. We do, actually, it looks like right now, we kind of talked about goats a little bit earlier, but it does right now look like, we might be seeing a goats attack here. Which could potentially be a problem for the defense here, because they don't really have an anti-goatsy comp. They're looking, looks like they're running right now the Ryan, Diva, Bridget, Mercy, it's called Soldier, Genji. Which isn't really anti-goats, so we'll be curious to see how well they can hold on this first point here. But I think Jester is just a little tired of constantly being killed on the Zen, so I can understand why he wants to get the Bridget. But maybe Lucio might potentially be a better option. We'll see. They're not really looking to dive him. Looks like D9 here waiting around. They're speeding, boosting around the left side here, working their way straight on the point. And Diva dropping down immediately, and as well as Reinhardt. And they're kind of brawling right now, but it's a split fight, and you cannot do those split fights against Goats comp. And as they just pretty much wipe them immediately, the Soldier's still just kind of firing around this high ground with his Mercy. And at this point, they pretty much killed the entire defense already. So I think if I was Paranoia right now, I would abandon your comp and switch to really anti-Goats, because they just wipe you that fast on first point. They're already pushing close here on second point. You gotta switch now. It looks like they have switched over to the Fair to lay down that burst damage from above. Actually might want to even switch more. This fight's kind of just like all on the top right side here as they're trying to take down the Reinhardt. The Fair just laying down that damage, but the Moira firing down at the Fair in the sky as so many people get low on the side of Paranoia here. They quick out 3 quick kills. They take on Mercy, Bridget, Farah, and Reinhardt. And with the Diva on the side of the defense here, I don't think this tactical advisor is going to get that much. And having 6 people up right now on the side of the attack this is going to be bad, because they've already picked up 2 ticks as they shatter the Mercy, taking her down. And they invest the Sound Bear, so they're not going to lose anybody anytime soon. This bomb can also be pretty huge. The bomb picks up 3! As the bomb on the side defense does not get anybody. They just have ults to spare as they have a really, really solid time here on the attack for D9. Yeah, that was was a pretty convincing take there. 6 minutes 11 seconds left. This is kind of one of the points historically we've seen kind of these higher score takes. We've seen those like 4-5s, 4-6s, or sometimes even 3-4s. So I'm curious to see if both sides are able to cap both points again, because the defense of D9 was so strong before on their first point. They could burn quite a lot of time. Now, because both teams did finish the time, we do attack again, and with Paranoia having less time in their time bank, they will attack first with their 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And looks like they're looking to kind of run a little bit of different composition than they were before. They're looking around the Hanzo Farah. Do you guys think the Hanzo Farah composition will work here on attack?
Actually, it actually could, depending on where the Hanzo is and if the Far Mercy are strategic enough to push off someone from the high ground, causing them to go to.
Yeah, I do have to wonder though how much this McCree could give them a problem as they get closer. Looks like now they actually swapped over the Ryan Zarya. I don't know if I've seen them run Ryan Zarya so far in this game so far. This might actually swapping things up a bit might help them a bit, but they actually have a Reaper on the side of the defense here, so if they get close, it can cause some problems. But McCree gets a damage boosted shot on the Hanzo immediately. Now we see Hammer taking down Bridget. And at this point, I would just probably abandon this push. You're down 4 people already. To the dying point, and for a really solid take, honestly. Sorry, defense. And actually, we talked about Ana earlier. Now we do see a little bit Ana as Jester switches over from the Bridget over to the Ana, and they've already abandoned the Farah idea and switch over to the Genji again, keeping the Ryan Zarya. So you're kind of just being a bit of a nuisance here on this high ground. Just laying in some damage, jacking through some people, as the rest of the team slowly working up, and it does land a Bionade on D.Va. That's really the only person to hit, and there's no follow-up on it. Both sides taking some damage as Reaper guards the point. He is the gatekeeper. Quick sleep dart put down on D.Va, and actually she does get demeched. Reaper on the side of D9 here takes out Mercy and Zarya, and he just takes out 3 now, as Reaper cannot be stopped. Yeah, that very solid play here inside of D9, as Paranoia kind of just walks into them and sacrifices themselves.
My ultimate ability is ready.
But now we have quite a bank of ultimates here on the side of defense. We almost are coming up on 6 ultimates for defense, while the offense themselves really is only sitting on Dragon, as well as almost has a Blade and Mercy ultimate. But many of those can be countered right now by what the defense has. So if I was the offense, I'd be looking to see if we can get that trance out preemptively. McCree kind of just looking like he might try to flank these people, dropping down. As the team, apparently kind of gets split up here on the attack. Going up for that high ground, they want to contest that now. As Hanzo picks off 2. With the bomb thrown into the enclosed space. It picked up both Mercy and Genji. I'm not sure how it did that when they had the Reinhardt in there with them, if his shield was broken. But then Reformed True picking up 2 more kills, and the offense again is foiled. But now, that was only 1 ultimate investment on the side of the defense there. They only spent D.Va Bomb. They still have 5 more ultimates. The ultimates now on the side of the attack here is starting to build up too. They have 5 ultimates. Sorry, they have 4 ultimates of their own, but just 30 seconds left. So we're gonna have to see some investment here as they go in. And they really don't have a lot of time to get the point, so they're taking this a long way around instead of 1 left side. But they come face to face with the Reaper. Around instead of 1 left side. But they come face to face with the Reaper, who will get somebody low and then back out. But they have just 15 more seconds to touch, as Reaper flanks, gets 2 with the help of D.Va to keep him alive, and Genji reflects McCree's ultimate, but Reaper cannot be stopped as he gets 4, 5, like he gets like 6 people, and he cannot be stopped. They just don't have anything to deal with his Reaper as D.Va continues the defense matrix for Reaper, not allowing anyone to get to him. And the defense will fail to even a single point, single tick on first point, as they had about 5 ultimates to do it.
I gotta say that was definitely quite a hold there.
It really was. It felt like the offense kind of going in didn't really have a plan. It kind of looked like they were just like, well, yeah, we'll walk the point and it's like we'll figure it out when we get there. But they never really fully got to point. They always were like 1 or 2 people down by the time they even got there, if they got there. So they were always at quite the disadvantage. Well, whereas it looked like the defense had a plan going into each engagement of like, they go over here, they split the team quite often. They picked up 1 or 2 people. Even that Reaper flank there at the end, they kind of just walked, D.Va and Reaper walked alone completely behind them. And the D.Va was with the Reaper to keep him alive and defense matrix for him while he ulted. There was definitely some good play there. Now, is not impossible now. Paranoia cannot win this point anymore, but they can tie. They just have to hold them for 6 minutes here and 11 seconds to no ticks. And it looks like D9 is just going to be going for the goats again. It worked for them so well last time. Might as well run it again. We'll have to see here if the defense can adapt to what steamrolled them last time. But they were all running the Ana this time, which could help them quite a lot. They also running the Mei, which is different. But they can't let this Ghost composition really get a foothold on this point. Otherwise, it will cause problems. But 2 picks already, both the Mercy, their main healer, and yeah, they're just going down already as this Ghost composition really takes over this point and takes out 5 members of Paranoia. And it just leaves the Mei in her little ice cube as D9 will quickly take this first point with their Ghost composition. And that will be a solid 3-0 by side of D9. Oh, this is this Reaper where he just goes off. Oh.
Yeah.
You can see.
I think it would have helped the attacking side a lot if they had maybe a D.Va and a Brig come together to counter that Reaper a little bit.
Yeah, it's just even just the awareness of where he was for this entire time. Because the Reaper was doing his flanks quite a good bit. And it seemed like they weren't fully aware when he was coming back up behind them to kind of like reposition themselves. But yeah, overall, solid play for both teams. While it was a 3-0 on the side of D9 there, it was not like Paranoia wasn't able to do anything. They did take a point on Oasis, and they made some of these maps very competitive. So, yeah, anything else you guys want to say about this match we saw here?
All right. I think that Paranoia had a little bit of issues with how they could counter goats. It seems that they didn't at all were capable of countering it in Horizon. And when they did fight, they kind of made it last for too long. It was kind of not their fault, I get that, because D9 was coming back. But at the same time, it kind of seemed like it would be, because if you can kill someone quick enough, you're able to get the point, thus finishing the fight. But if you don't put enough damage onto one person, that means you're not working together in coordination, which is something that should happen.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely did see like they struggled to counter the Ghost composition in D9, at least especially on these 2 CP maps. And with Ghosts being a pretty popular composition, especially on these points, it's something I think Paranoia will have to spend some time working to counter. Because it definitely looked very strong on some of the compositions they're running. It just looked like they weren't fully sure how to handle that aggression from the side of D9. Also,
that was a very that was a huge thing to also know because when they had D9 being aggressive, they also had say like Bigger Mac just running the Reaper or the other DPS just putting in some work on Pharah, Susie's back being on Pharah, and it seemed like even though yes, they were able to take care of it sometimes, it wasn't enough.
definitely, yeah. Aggression movement is very difficult to handle sometimes here, where like some people just like run at you and it's like you panic and you kind of almost forget what you need to do and you just react. Sometimes you're not always reacting the right way. You're not communicating with your team, and that can be a really off-putting thing. Also, quick plug. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we do have the OXC breakdown, where we go through the games of the week and kind of give a little spotlight to some of the featured games, talk about what happened, who the up-and-coming teams are, who's going up, who's going down, the standings. We also do something called the Top 10 Plays, where we feature the top 10 plays from the games for this week. Either if you saw a play during this game or any of the games you watched this week, or you were a part of one of these games and you want to submit something you think should be recognized, head on over to our Discord. In the Information Hub channel, you will see a link to a Google form where you can submit your clip for consideration for the top 10 plays. And then check on down at 8 p.m. on the OXC Gaming Twitch channel to see if your play is featured. Is there anything else you guys would like to plug while we're here?
What can you plug?
What do you want to plug?
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. What can you plug on OXC? See, that's the question.
Yeah, if you want to if you're one of the streamers for the league, you can plug your Twitch channel, stuff like that.
I mean, I'm a streamer in a way, but I'm more so just a caster for OXC, along with a player for Phantom Thieves. My Twitch is Evermore TM. I don't really stream daily because I'm having personal problems, but I will try to. Besides that, one question that did come into mind, Headrammer, about that weekly thing.
Yes.
I'd like to be a part of that. Is that possible?
We're looking to it. So far, we're looking to kind of get steadied up right now. We're working on a format for it and getting like kind of regular panelists.
Yeah.
I will put you in contact with the man in charge.
All right.
DSK, you want to plug your Twitch channel since it looks like you're now a League streamer?
I mean, do I need to plug my Twitch channel on my Twitch channel?
What? I mean, always plug. You're given the opportunity.
Yeah, you can tell people to
Please
follow
like,
you.
follow. Yeah, please like, follow, subscribe, and comment onto my Twitch channel, DSK Madrox.
Actually, my
Twitch.tv
Twitch channel
DSK
is Kaida's Twitch.
All right, listen to her, not me. I don't know what I'm saying. Like, follow, subscribe, and I don't know, buy subs. Yeah, you can do that on Twitch. Yeah, subs.
Yeah,
If you have Twitch
you have to
Prime,
have,
if you have Twitch Prime, please use your sub on what she said previously. I don't remember the name. And
Kaida's
it depends,
Twitch.
right? I think it depends, right? I think you can only sub if someone becomes an affiliate. So
oh, is that true?
so that means if Kai isn't capable of being an affiliate currently, if OXC Gaming, the Twitch channel, is an affiliate, you guys can go down there and go sub to them.
Yes, you can indeed sub to the OXC Twitch channel. It is OXC Gaming is the name of that one. And yeah, give us your money. Thanks. But yeah, this is I think that pretty much wraps it up here. This is Headrammer, Evermore, and DSK signing off.